What is happening, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I gotta turn on the lights and everything. Run the intro. I'm walking in. And swing you back in. Welcome. Flying. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely one out there. Whatever you're doing, let me slide on in here. Slide on into your subscription box. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a one out there, even more than a great one out there. Today we're going to listen to the band Big in Japan. Never heard of this band, but we're going to listen to their EP From Y to Z and Never Again, released in 1978. We're listening to this because it's suggested and sponsored by Kevin. So Kevin, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the suggestion as well. Like I said, never heard of them, don't know a thing about them. I looked them up on Spotify, could not find them, so we're going to listen to this from YouTube. That's kind of all I got to say, to be honest. I have nothing else to say. Got my orange black tea here. Got my orange tea here.
Please clap.
Sometimes the material writes itself. Let's go ahead and listen to it. We're going to start off with the first track here, which is entitled Nothing Special. I can't live ask you guys, but I was going to ask you, do you want to concentrate on my face, or do you want me to bring up the album cover and I'll be in the corner? I mean, might as well put myself in the corner, I guess. All right, here we go. Oh, just go right into it. Especially with that effect on her voice there.
Look at my body. Can you see my jump?
The whole thing is drenched in this atmosphere, especially with the guitar. I like the guitar though. Definitely a very interesting sound. You hear how like drenched this is and like reverb, echo, and distortion. Effective solo. Talking over it. A lot of room for fills here in the final round. That's it? Okay, so I imagine that's going to be the end of the first song. Okay, this is a really completely different sound than I thought was going to be heard looking at the album cover. I was thinking this was going to be like punk, like heavy, fast, kind of just a aggro punk. This is instead something much more atmospheric. The whole sound, everything, I cannot help but use the D word, is drenched in this tonal atmosphere and this kind of shaky distortion. Her singing, hold on, let me pull up the band members. Jane is the lead singer here. Her vocals kind of remind me stylistically in a similar sound to the lead singer of Portishead, whose name I am forgetting all of a sudden. She released a solo album that was really good recently. But it's these vocals that are like drenched in this reverb or this old sound. And it makes it very interesting. Her singing is also very high pitched, like not shrieking, but it's like soft shrieking, which works super well in this whole amalgamation of the guitars and their washed out sound. It almost gives it a slightly psychedelic, but not like 60s psychedelic. This is like 80s post-punk kind of psychedelic sound that it's kind of drenched in. It's just really, really well done. I think that's incredible. Also, what I think is kind of incredible is when I'm looking here at the personnel list, Budgie from Susie and the Banshees is playing on this album. That's kind of cool. Budgie's kind of everywhere sometimes. But like, it's just a really cool kind of washed sound that they have there. I enjoyed that first track. Let's take a look at the lyrics here. Let me pull it up here really quick. I'm nothing special, the star of the show, the hottest thing on video. I spend my time interviewing me with the aid of trick photography. Me, I, my. Egomania. It's all self-centered. It's all about her. You see me standing here all cool and calm. Look at my body. Can you see my charm? I show no signs of plastic surgery. My life is full of love and gaiety. Me, I. When I step out of my celluloid world, I'm like a child longing to be held. My cries for you, my cries for help mean nothing to you. Can't you help this dying star before she slips away? Me, I. So she wants to reach out for help, but perhaps at the same time, something herself, her egomania, is also what's holding her back, perhaps in a sense. Maybe not. It's kind of what I get out of it. Let's move on into the next track here, which, just closed it, is going to be Cindy and the Barbie Dolls. Let me pull you guys back up here again, and here we are. Did I go? Hold on. I think I went like too far. We're past this. Okay, it was there. I'm sorry. I was trying to get perfect into it. That's like a
I used to hang around.
Happier Joy Division. What in the hamster is this?
I used to dream of what would be. In the world,
What's Alvin doing here? But the music is good. I like the rest of it.
I see a face in all the magazines.
Like, that's a tight groove. Kind of post-punk with a ska touch
They
to
try
it.
to touch you and scream but only I feel your pain. Behind your makeup and fancy clothes, there lies a boy that I once loved.
That's a nice riff. Like, this is a great song. This is a good song. Those vocals, though.
I think when you said you wanted to be like me. Instead I laugh and poke fun at you. Oh, Cindy. Starring on TV, making records that reach the top 3. I see your face in all the magazines. Oh, Cindy. You always wanted to be a star.
This.
Pride light, you were gonna go far.
Just let the man speak. I
I
like
can see
it.
that all your dreams come true, but I can't conceive what you had to do. Oh, Cindy, I loved you so. Oh, Cindy, why did you go?
It's like an old school kind of style to the guitar playing. Right? That's a barn burner. Okay. Let me teach you guys something. Maybe you already know. Have you guys ever painted like a landscape? You know, like you got your canvas and you start painting. So when you're painting a landscape, you paint, this is my canvas right here on the wall. You paint from the background forward. So for example, you might just take your canvas and up on the top of it, you put some blues up there. Down here, you put some greens, right? And then like you let that dry or however you're painting, depending on the material and everything. And your medium, and then you start painting on top of that. Maybe you start to add some puffy clouds on the top, right? That's on top of the blue background. You begin to add maybe some brown here, brown lines going vertical. That eventually will be your trees. Anyways, the point is you're layering from the back front. So your sky, then your clouds, your birds, your trees, your grass. Perhaps you want to put something in the foreground, you know, maybe a big old heron or something like that. You start from the back forward. And there's always that risk of adding an element and messing it up, because then it ruins the whole painting, because, you know, the more you add, the more risk there is that you're going to mess it up. And if you mess up something in the foreground, well, you can't cover that up. Whereas if you made a mistake in the background, well, you might have a chance to cover that up with whatever you put in the foreground. The point I'm getting at, too, is with this track, I think that Cindy and the Barbie Dolls is such a cool track. The sound is very cool. It almost has a Joy Division post-punk-esque kind of sound in the beginning, but then the guitar starts to lighten things up and it has a lot of melody. I didn't even mention, but the guitar is being performed by Ian Brody and Bill Drummond. Ian Brody's also handling some of those lead vocals here in the song. I love what he's doing. I love the playfulness of it all. I love the tight drum fills and how it all comes together in this very, I think, unique and playful sound that comes across really nice. I like his spoken word vocals as he just kind of moodily kind of sings, not really sings, just speaks throughout a lot of the track. And then there's that kind of, I don't know, blues rock 60s Rolling Stones-esque kind of guitar solo and playing that's happening at the end. I think it's just a great song. However, the Chipmunk, Alvin and the Chipmunks vocals that are happening, which, listen, the song is called Cindy and the Barbie Dolls. I'm imagining that's like the Barbie Dolls part. And it does have that kind of, you know, old 50s, 60s kind of swing to it. You know, Cindy and the Barbie Dolls. Da, 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 da. Like it has that swing, right? That old school swing. But B-52's this is not. And so those vocals, those Chipmunk vocals, I don't think it was so horrible that it completely ruins the song. I think that that's too strong of a sentiment. But I don't enjoy them. And I would have preferred anything, probably to compare to that. I would have preferred them, they just be non-existent, sing in a normal voice or speak in your normal voice. Maybe the whole band comes in with those harmonies. I just didn't care for them. I just didn't I didn't care for that. It didn't do anything at all. I will say it did kind of take away because for what I thought was such a sensational song, that aspect did weaken it a little bit. Also, hate to tell you this, but I got missing lyrics on this one, so I have no lyrics for Cindy and the Barbie dolls. Let me give it a quick little Google search, see if I can find something. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I noticed that these lyrics were a little harder to find. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Have not been added yet. So I do not see any lyrics for this one, unfortunately. So I'm going to back up, get ready for the next track, which is Suicide A Go-Go, which does have the lyrics here. Let me go and pull you guys back up again. That was a great song. Just now, in the future, will I be able to overlook those vocals? There's a chance, but I don't know. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. All right, here we go. Definition of paving over parallels. That got heavy right there. That's a big drum. Yeah, and the guitar comes right off of it. It's so catchy. Oh, I love when it breaks into that. Okay, that was the heaviest track so far in the EP, and they rock out on this one. This one, they take away those post-punk sensibilities, and they just go straight into it here. Once again, I just really enjoyed the guitar work. I think that is fantastic. I think that's actually kind of, a standout, or the standout, a big standout in the album, or in the EP. Looking at the two guitarists, Ian Brody, or Brody rather, obviously he's played with this band, but he's also produced albums for Echo and the Bunnymen, The Fall, The Coral, The Zootons, and The Subways. Then looking at the second guitarist, Bill Drummond, he's known as the co-founder of avant-garde pop group, the KLF, never heard of them. And he's done a lot of stuff. Not even just music-wise, he's just done a lot of stuff, a lot of art and stuff as I see from him. So anyways, just really, I thought the guitar playing was just really impressive, and I think that that's a huge standout. The chorus is very fun. The ba-da-ba, ticka-ticka-ticka, ba-da-ba, ticka-ticka-ticka, and the way the guitar comes right out of that. The singing, once again, by Jane, I think sounds really good here. I think it's unique, right? Because she's singing a much higher register. I can hear that it's like in a almost piercing kind of way. I think slightly better production on this EP would go a long way in like really making it stand out even more. Because as it is, the production is just a little on the like, not muddy side, but kind of like Some of the sounds could be cleaned up just a little bit, not overproduced, not in a modern sense whatsoever. Just a little bit of fine tuning here and there, because it almost comes across a little bit staticky. But at the same time, that aspect also kind of lends itself to the overall sound that we're hearing from the band. Let's look at these lyrics. I know this is a catchy one too. I know I mentioned the B-52s previously. I kind of get a slight sense of that from this band, especially with like the previous tracks and how they, at least to me, take kind of influence from, 50s and 60s music in certain respects. Just the same way that B-52s kind of brings that aspect and that culture into their overall sound and even costuming and their appearances and such. Okay. From the bar and into the street, creatures of the night run naked in the heat. Penny Arcade, Peep Show, Suicide a Go-Go. The bodies are soft machines, their minds are full of screams. Buy me, try me, buy me, try me. My body's writhing, my head is empty. Try me, fantasy, my body's writhing, my head is empty. Fight goes from the bar into the street. Creatures of the night run naked in the heat. And then it repeats the lyrics all again. When I'm reading this, I read this as kind of, I don't know why, like kind of futuristic. Bodies are soft machines and everything around us is neon and machines and people are running naked around the streets. It's just a degenerative cityscape of sorts. But I think if you were to take that aspect out and just make it more personal, I think, or not more personal, but just more relatable, I suppose. I think that in a sense, that's what it's talking about. Bodies are soft machines that can be rented, in a sense. Our minds are full of screams. People are saying, buy me, try me. My head is empty. My body's writhing. Try me like a fantasy, So there's definitely a sexual aspect in here, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It could just be, people as a commodity. I think that's a great way of putting it. Let's go ahead and listen to the final track here, which is going to be Taxi. Here we go. That's a moody one. Never mind. That's good. Snakes from one side to the other. I like the bass playing in this section. It has a light bobbing rhythm to this. Right there. And how the bass is going to offset with the beat. That's cool. for one last solo? I love when it steps back to this. Her vocals kind of like a ghost just walking in the dark hallway in the back. Just walking to its own end. All that volume and reverb now. All of that. That was cool. I enjoyed that. I thought that, first of all, I really thought the instrumentation in this album is fantastic. The vocals definitely take a little getting used to, but besides, one of the tracks, which the Alvin and the Chipmunks came in, I thought it was very unique and I thought it sounded great. So let me look at the bass player in this because I haven't talked about them. Also, I'm missing lyrics on this track as well, so apologies for that. Bass here is, I guess I'll bring you guys up. Bass here is going to be handled by Holly Johnson on this particular track. Ooh, little connection. I don't know why I didn't catch this. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I didn't even catch that. Fantastic bass playing. I love how heavy and moody this one came in. This one had a fog to it, but it was a thick, dense fog. This is the type of morning fog you wake up, you're heading out, and you can barely see the tail lights on the car in front of you. This was a heaviness that I really, really enjoyed from this one. And in lieu, or I guess I should say in part, because of Holly Johnson on the bass. And I like how even in those moments of that dense fog, at certain points the bass would kind of pop up, almost bubbling in this kind of laughing kind of manner, bum, 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 kind of adding a levity into the denseness of this track, which I thought was really, really nice. Budgie's once again going to be making an appearance on this track as well with some fantastic drumming. But man, that guitar just works so well in creating tone and a lot of different colors in this track as well. Like how the music slowed down into a half step, emptied out a lot of the reverb on the guitar, left us with that bass and the drums just for a nice palpable moment. And then the guitar would come in with a little solo there for us as well. That was really, really fun. I enjoyed this. I would say my favorite tracks, I actually really like Taxi. If Cindy did not have the Chipmunks in there, that would be my favorite track. But I think Taxi is my favorite track, actually. Looking at some of the info for this, it says it was also one of the first releases that came from the late 70s, early 80s Liverpool rock scene. It's been out of print since 78, but the tracks are available, blah, blah, blah. The track listing presents part of the numerous lineup changes the band suffered during their 2 years of existence. The only remaining members of the band throughout the recording of the EP were Bill Drummond and Ian Brody, the two guitarists. Now, do you think that that's a testament to the strength of the guitar work, since that was to me, the strongest aspect in here? Could be, since they were the ones that were there the whole time, I mean, it makes sense to me. Kevin, thank you the sun just went down. Kevin, thank you so much for the recommendation, and I really appreciate the support as well. Please, you guys, let me know what you thought of this one in the comments down below. Press the like button before you head out and all of that other fun stuff. Thank you for being here. Come back tomorrow, and I'll see you all later. Bye.